I have a really ugly car in Brookhaven. This car is poorly customized. But today, I want to find ways to improve my car, get better decorations, and also increase the tire size of the car. Because this is the size of the tire. But basically, I want to try different ways to increase the tire size and also improve the car. So for that, I called my friend, who is right here. He said, let's go. But what is that behind you? And I'm looking back here, and we have my car, which is giant. And I don't understand what he's talking about. He said, there, on the back street. But guys, I'm looking up front, and there's nothing here. And actually, there's a truck passing by here, which is really weird. So I'm going to have to get in my car. And my friend is coming here too, because I'm going to chase that truck to see what it's doing. Now I'm going to set it to maximum speed, and I'm coming after it. And apparently, it's right here, and I'm following it. But now I'm going to have to get into this truck. So I got up front, but I couldn't do it. So I'm going to have to try this again. And I'm going to jump right now. But again, it didn't work. My friend said, you're not going to make it. It's impossible. Look, actually, I will make it. And I'm getting here, and it finally worked. And now I'm in the player's truck, and he really made a weird decoration. But it actually looks kind of interesting. And I don't know what he's doing, but his truck has a lot of purple lights, which look perfect. But now he stopped right here, probably to talk to me. He said, how didn't you get shocked? And he thinks this purple thing gives shocks. But actually, it doesn't shock at all. And really, his truck is pretty cool. He said, you should make a car like this too. And guys, this idea he had is really interesting. So I'm going to make a Roblox car that's futuristic. But now, my friend is coming back here, and I'm going to take the opportunity to get in this car like this. And now he's coming up front. I said, I'm going to make a car of the future because I want to try different ways to improve Brookhaven cars and also get giant wheels. So here on the right, I have to choose an interesting car that looks like a car from the future. So I'm looking at all the possible cars, but there's no interesting car. But we have these VIP cars here, and I just got this car because I'm going to try to put the items that this player put on his truck, and I'm sure it's going to look really interesting. But he just got here, and he got out of his car to say something. He said, drive your car onto my truck, and it looks like he wants me to put my car on top of his truck, specifically in this part. So I'm going to try to do this, but I'm almost sure it won't work. Now I'm getting here, and he went back to his truck just to fix this. And now he has to come back here and leave his truck here. Perfect, he left it right in this part. And now I have to come up front and put my car right here. But guys, this is hard, and I don't know if I'll be able to do it. But again, I'm coming here, and this time I'm sure it's going to work. So I just jumped here, but it didn't work very well. So much so that my friend just left here, and I don't know what he's doing, but he grabbed this motorcycle, and I think this motorcycle might actually stay here. But my friend's motorcycle is flying, and that doesn't even make sense. So unfortunately, this test didn't work, and nothing worked. But now he's staring at me, and he said, put giant wheels on your car. And I'm going to do that, but it will be later, because now I have to come up front to do something really important. And if I take this item from the right, and then click on electronics, and get exactly this item, it's like this. But if I press the red button, it just turns out like this. And I want to put this on my car to make it look like a car from the future, but I don't know how I'm going to do that. He said, flip your car. It's the best way to do this. And guys, I got into my car, because what he said is true. I'm going to have to flip my car to do the first test. So I'm climbing up here with a lot of difficulty, and I'm going to flip my Roblox car. Perfect! My car is completely flipped. So now, I'm going to get out of here, and here on the right, I'm going to grab this item and place it exactly here. And now the item is releasing this shock, but this isn't good. Now I removed it, and I have to flip my car in a different way. And my friend will have to help me do this. But I'm coming up here, and I have to come to this plot of land and grab the hero house on the right. Now that I got this house, the secret is almost ready. I have to come down here very carefully, but now my car is stuck. So here on the right, I'm going to grab this ladder and place it right here in front, so my car can move back a little. Perfect, this finally worked. And now I have to get out of here and place the item exactly here. And my friend also left here, but he's holding a flashlight. And incredibly, this is actually going to be important. Now I'm going to place the item right here, and this is almost perfect. I just need to press the button that's inside the ground, and this item will be activated. He said, why don't you press the button? Look, I don't press the button because it's impossible to press it. But he dropped the flashlight and placed a bed here. And this bed is going to be really important. But I'm coming right here, and I have to get into this bed. And I'm going to activate this red button. And now you can see that the car is releasing these particles, which are actually really interesting. But this is far from perfect. I'm going to have to get out of the car. But now I'm stuck. Perfect. I just got out of here. And again, he's holding the flashlight. And now I'm going to place this item a little lower. Perfect. I placed these two. And now I have to activate this button and also this other button. And now finally, my friend is carrying me. So I'm going to press this button, and if I delete the house on the right, you can see that the car is perfect, and the car is releasing particles as if it really were from the future, and I were traveling between dimensions in Brookhaven. Even he just got out of the car and is seeing that this is perfect. He said, it looks like you made an update in Brookhaven, and it really does look like an update. But now, he came back in here, because today, I'm going to test several other ways to improve the car in the game, and now I'm going to change the color up here, so this car looks nicer. So I'm coming up front, and it looks like there's a player here who who wants to race. He even put on this hat, and I don't know how he put on this hat while driving the car. And it's impossible to wear hats when you're driving. He said, I'm a race driver. Do you want to race? Look, unfortunately, I don't want to, because I have more important things to do. But he just got up here, and he said, of course you don't want to race against me, because you already know you're going to lose. And guys, he really thinks I'm going to lose, even though I have a giant car, and he has a small car. So I'm going to join this race. Now he got back in his car, and he's coming up front, and I'm going to follow him, because I want to see where the race is going to happen. And apparently, it's going to be right here. So I'm going to leave my car in this part, because I'm ready to beat him. And I'm literally going to beat this player. It's just a matter of him starting this race. But it seems like this just started, and his car is really slow. He's simply losing, and he's probably going to crash his Roblox car. But I just won, so much so that he came here to talk to me. He said, you're really good, but unfortunately, I didn't use my full power. And I'm sure he used his full power, but apparently, he's going to switch cars. And he just grabbed this car, which is the smallest car of all. And I don't know why he grabbed the smallest car of all, but he wants to race against me again, and he thinks he's going to win. But he's coming up front, because this is where the most important race of all is going to happen. And later, I'm going to test with you guys different ways to increase the car tire size to have simply giant wheels. But he's speeding up here in front, but his car is really slow. And it's so slow that I accidentally crashed into his car. And he crashed his car. But guys, he lost in a really weird way, because he crashed his car into the police station. And now he's looking here, and he just left the game. And he got mad and decided to leave the game. But my friend just showed up here, and he said, try another way to improve your car. This one is really ugly. Actually, my car is really beautiful, and I have the most beautiful car of all, so I have no reason to switch cars. He said, which car has the biggest tire of all? Look, that's a good question. But now, I want to test with you different ways to increase the tire size in Brookhaven, and I want to pick a random car on the right and simply make the tire bigger. He said, but first, which car has the biggest tire of all? And guys, he really wants to know this. So here on the right, there are several cars with giant wheels, but if I pick this blue car, it's probably the one with the biggest tire, because it's huge. So much so that he came back here, and he can even spin this item, which is something I didn't know. But I'm going to a house, because I realized there's a new house, and there's a player living here. But actually, he's laughing at us, literally laughing for no reason. So my friend is aiming this item at the player's house, and now he's shooting it. So much so that the player just noticed this and simply left the game. And I don't know why players are leaving the game so easily, but this car has the biggest tire of all, and I accidentally flipped over. But if I grab any other car on the right, like this yellow pickup truck, you can see that the wheels are giant, but this one is much bigger. So I'm going to shrink my size until I'm the same size, and you can see that now I'm the same size as this tire, and the tire is a little bigger. Perfect, I'm the same size. So now, I'm getting to this other car, and you can see that its tire is much bigger, and it's a bit bigger than this other tire. He said, how do you get bigger tires on cars? First, he has to choose a car that he wants to modify. He said, and why are you bald? Guys, I'm going to have to change my Roblox avatar, because I was bald, and he was talking about that. But here on the right, there are several cars, and there are really a lot of cars, and my friend has to choose one of these cars to make the modification. He said, choose nice cars, and then weird cars. Okay, I'm going to do exactly that, and I'm going to choose some nice cars here. This car is really interesting, and this other car is also interesting. So I selected them and brought them right here, because later they will be modified and will have a very different appearance from the one they have now. But now, I have to choose 2 more cars, and I already know which cars I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose this purple car, because it's really small, and also this other car, because it would be really interesting if it had giant wheels. So I just chose the 2, and I'm bringing them up front. Perfect, they're right here, but now I have to choose the tires. Perfect, I chose the tires for this car, but now I'm going to increase them, and this is actually looking really weird, and I'm starting to think I did it wrong. He said, you really messed up, and I actually ended up messing this up. So I went back to normal, and now they got huge, and they're really getting huge. But now, the tire on this car is way too big, so I reduced it a bit, and I'm going to have to move them down, and now this car looks pretty interesting. It really has giant wheels, but they don't match the car at all, and later, I'm going to drive them. But first, I want to do this with all these cars. And there are simply a lot of cars here, and they would definitely look really weird if they had giant wheels like this car. Perfect, I'm modifying this, and it's turning out really interesting. But this car is going to look really weird. Perfect, I'm modifying this, and this car turned into a monster truck. And now this other car is going to have giant wheels, and it actually turned out pretty interesting. But my friend just got here, and he said, drive the cars. I want to see how they turned out. Guys, I thought he wanted to test the game himself, but actually, he wants me to test this. He said, I don't know if it's safe to drive these cars, so you better test it first. And I get it, he's scared because the cars shouldn't have giant wheels like this, but it turned out pretty interesting. And these cars really ended up looking very different in a really weird way, especially this car. This car definitely shouldn't look like this. But up front, we have this other car, which actually turned out pretty interesting. And we also have this other car, which ended up bugging in Roblox. And for some reason, the wheels ended up lower than they should be. Perfect, I fixed this, and now it turned out pretty interesting. But now, I'm going to have to drive this. And guys, I can't drive this car, and I also can't drive this other car. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments. I just grabbed this car that actually works, and I can drive this. So I'm modifying the tires. Perfect. It turned out like this, but actually, it just fell down here, and I don't know why this happened. He said even the car didn't like how it turned out, and he's making fun of my game, saying it looks ugly, but I'm going to try to fix this. Perfect. I chose the tires, and now I increased the size, and it turned out like this. But for this other car, I'm going to do something different. I'm just going to reduce the size, and I'm going to leave it exactly down here, because I want to do a race and see which of these cars is better. So I'm coming here to drive this car, and it actually works really well, but it's really slow, and I don't know why, but I can't drive it because this car is so slow, and it's going 5 meters per hour. So I'm coming here to test this other car, and this car is actually really fast, and for some reason, it's super fast, and I'm just passing by here up front without any difficulties. The only problem is that my car is shaking, and it also doesn't brake very well, and my car is shaking with fear, and it's even releasing a lot of smoke, and this is really weird. He said, the car is scared of you, and it just fell back here, but he just left the game, because he wants to test my Roblox game. But first, I have to add more things, so I just grabbed the smallest car of all, and I'm going to leave it right here. Perfect! I'm in my Roblox game, and my friend just joined here too. He said, wow, I didn't know you put this in the game. And for those who don't know, I added more things besides these cars. I also added this giant car and a rocket that's back there, and also the smallest car of all. But I want to see how this giant car works, which is the biggest car of all. So I'm getting in here, and it actually works well. But up here, I can open this part to let air into the bus. And it looks like my friend is coming up front, probably to grab that car. And he's coming here, but I want to see if the car he's going to grab can fit under my car. So he's driving this, and now he's coming up front. And even I want to see if this is going to work. So he's coming here, and unfortunately, he can't do it, but I can pass over him because this bus has a lot of power. And now my friend came inside this bus, and he's sitting back here, but I can jump up here and access literally any place in Roblox because this bus is giant. So much so that I'm coming up front, and it can climb mountains, and really, driving this bus is very weird. And it feels like I'm driving a monster where I can go wherever I want, except for the beginning of the game, which is impossible to pass through here. But now, I'm arriving at the space rocket because I want to fly away. So I'm climbing up here to simply fly away, and we're ready to fly in Roblox. And it really looks like this worked, but for some reason, the bus moved up front, and meanwhile, I'm flying into space. And I'm really going far away from the map, which is basically getting left behind because I'm really high up. And guys, if you want to add me on Roblox, just click the Become a Member button, and I'll add you on Roblox.